Welcome to the class of neural networks. We'll be starting the third unit, in which we'll be studying about pattern recognition task. So here we'll be studying about the functional units of artificial neural networks for pattern recognition tasks, as pattern recognition task is our third unit. So in the pattern recognition problem is addressed by a system in order to gather the information. So pattern recognition is an important task in neural networks. If it is capable of understanding a pattern and storing it, then able to produce the required output, and a pattern needs to be a multiple pattern needs to be given to the input so that it can give the required output. There are three fundamental units which are used to identify with basic pattern association problem and some variations of these problems. So these units will be described, and a specific pattern recognition task that the various functional units can solve will also be discussed. The basic artificial neural network models for pattern recognition problems. So the basic artificial neural network models that are available are: first is the feed forward ANN, second is feedback, third is feed forward and feedback, that is the combination of the two. In the feedback artificial neural network, you have the pattern association, the pattern classification, then lastly the pattern mapping and classification. In the second one, that is the feedback ANN, you have auto association, pattern storage abbreviated as LTM, pattern environment storage abbreviated as LTM, feed forward and feedback, which is also called as competitive learning ANN. It has pattern storage, pattern clustering, featuring mapping, that is feature mapping. Now we'll little bit closely observe what is pattern recognition problem. In pattern recognition task, we have a set of input patterns and the corresponding output patterns. So we have a set of inputs to which corresponding outputs are there. Depending on the nature of the output patterns and the nature of the task environment, the problem could be identified as one of the association or classification or mapping. So depending on the nature of the output we want, we can identify, we can do the mapping, and we can get the result. So the given set of input output pattern pairs form only a few samples of an unknown system. From these samples, the pattern recognition model should capture the characteristics of the system without looking into the details of the system. Let us assume that the input output patterns are available or given to us. Without loss of generality, let us assume that the patterns could be represented as vectors in multi-dimensional spaces. We first state the most straightforward pattern recognition problem, namely the pattern association problem, and discuss its characteristics. So basically, you have a set of input output patterns, you provide some patterns to it, and without going into the detail of these patterns, or that is a given number of input output patterns, we try to find out the results of the remaining without going into them. Without going in depth into them, so that it can recognize the patterns of the other coming inputs and outputs from the other inputs. If it tries to understand the few set of samples only in a deeper way, then more time will be taken and the response time will become less, and the use of neural network will not be that much. Now for the problem given, that is the pattern association problem, given the set of input output pattern pairs A B1, A1 B1, A2 B2, AI BI, so on, AL BL, where AI AL1 AL2 ALM and B1 BL1 BL2 BLN are M and N dimensional vectors. Okay, so these are the vector quantities, that is the consideration of the inputs. Design a neural network to associate each input pattern with the corresponding output pattern. So here we need to correspond the output with the required input pattern. We need to correspond the output with respect to the input. If AL and BL are distinct, then the problem is called heteroassociation. If AL and BL are different, then it is called heteroassociation. On the other hand, if BL is equals to AL, then the problem is called autoassociation. In the later case, the input and the corresponding output patterns refer to the same point in an n-dimensional space. Since M is equals to n and Li is equals to Bli, I is equals to 1, 2, n, L is equals to 1, 2, so on till L. The problem of storing the association of the input-output pattern pairs A and B2 inputs 1, 2, so on till L involves determining the weights of the network to accomplish the task. Weights means storing of information. This is the training part. Means we are trying to train with the required set of inputs, which I have already explained to you. Once stored, the problem of recall involves determining the output pattern for a given input pattern by applying the operations of the network on the input pattern. So based on the inputs what it has and based on the new inputs what it is having, it tries to generate the output based on the previous set of inputs. Means it tries to associate them. And how it is associating? It is associating based on your heteroassociation and autoassociation, which you already know. Now the recalled output pattern depends on the nature of the input. The recalled output pattern depends on the nature of the input of the design of the network. If the input pattern is the same as one of those used in the training, then the recalled output pattern is the same as the associated pattern in the training, as I have told to you. If the input pattern is a noisy version of the trained input pattern, then the pattern may not be identical to any of the patterns used in training the network. So if the pattern is somewhat different, then it cannot be identical to the sets. Let the input pattern is A caps is equals to AL plus E, where E is the small amplitude noise vector. Let us assume that A caps is closer according to some distance measure to AL, then any other AK k not equal to 1. If the output of the network for this A cap is still BL, then the network is designed to exhibit an accretive behavior. On the other hand, if the network produces an output B caps is equals to BL plus 6, such that mod B tends to 0 as epsilon tends to 0, then the network is designed to exhibit an interpolative behavior. So these circumstances, when the inputs when the required output does not matches the required having the trained input data, then this kind of conditions arose where you have interpolative behavior and you have accretive behavior. Depending on the interpretation of the problem, several recognition tasks can be viewed as variants of the pattern association problem. So this also compiles to us, and we have the collection of the library where we can also solve the furthermore, because now it is getting informative. The weights are been getting updated and the network is now getting much more effective. Now we'll come to the basic function units. There are three types of artificial neural networks. First is feed forward, second is feedback, and a combination of both, which I have already shown you at the starting. The simplest network of each of these types form the basic functional units. They are functional because they can perform by themselves some simple pattern recognition tasks. They can work on their own. They are basic because they form building blocks for developing neural network architectures for complex pattern recognition tasks. So these are the basics for developing the complex neural networks. The simplest feed-forward network is shown here, which is a two-layered network with m input units and n output units. So n is the output units and m is the input units. So here output vector, output units, input units, fan out units, input vector. So b dash is equals to bl dash, bx dash, bn dash. Here you have the bits, first one, second one. Here you have the outputs and here you have the inputs. So if you see from here, all of them here are paired. If you first concentrate on first line, second line, then go to the third line, you have first, you have second, then you have your inputs and you have your outputs. So if you see, 1 is connected to n, 2 is connected to n, then again m is connected to 1, m is connected to 2, then again 1 is connected to 2, 2 is connected to 1. So simultaneous way, and again m is connected to n. So what is the reason I've explained the diagram in this way is that all the portions are directly or indirectly connected to each other such that they can produce an effective neural network. That's the reason I am explaining you in this particular manner. Here each input unit is connected to each of the output units. Input is connected to the output units and each connection is associated with the weight or strength of the connection. The inputs units are linear and they merely perform the task of fan out, that is, each unit is providing n outputs. One to each output, the output units are either linear or non-linear depending on the task that network should perform. So they perform linear or non-linear task depending upon the nature of the network. Typically, feed-forward networks are used for pattern association or pattern classification or pattern mapping. So these feed-forward models are used for pattern association or pattern classification or also for pattern mapping. The simplest feedback network shown in figure 3.2 consists of a set of n processing units, each connected to all other units. This is the next figure what I'm talking. First we'll descript it, then we'll move on to it. The simplest feedback network shown consists of set of n processing units, each connected to all the other units. The connection strengths of the weights are also known as strengths, are assumed to be symmetric, that is similar, that is j is equals to wji for I not equal to j depending on the task. The units of the network could be linear or non-linear. Typically, feedback networks are used for auto association or pattern storage. So earlier we studied here about feed forward network, that is the first model of pattern recognition. This is the second model, that is our feedback network, that is the feedback model. So similar way, if you try to understand the connections first so that we can understand them, then later we can descript it in a proper way. So 1 coming itself, 2 coming itself, 1 connected to 2, 2 connected to the n, that is the output, then again output to this, then the output to the input, then this output to the input. So this way they are able to form a feedback. If you observe in the previous one, there was no feedback. All were connected, inputs were connected to the outputs, but here if you see, inputs are connected to the outputs, but they are also having a feedback network within themselves. So here these networks are mostly auto association or pattern storage. These are auto association because they have a feedback network in them. So probability of auto association here is maximum. The simplest combination is called competitive learning. It consists of an input layer of units. This is the third one. Third one you can say as feed forward plus feedback network. This is the combination of the two, which forms the basic competitive learning network. So this diagram is nothing but the elaboration or the combination of feed forward and feedback neural network. So if you can see, it consists of an input layer of units feeding to the inputs, feeding to the units in the output layer in a feed forward manner, and the feedback connection among the units in the output layer, including self feedback. Usually the connection strengths or weights of the feed forward path are adjustable while training the network for a given pattern recognition task. The feedback connection strengths or weights in the output layer are usually fixed to specific values depending upon the problem. The input units are all linear. Here the inputs are all linear and they merely perform the task of fan out, that is each unit providing n outputs. So one input providing n outputs, one to each output. The output units are either linear or non-linear depending upon the task the network should perform. Typically the competitive learning network is used for pattern grouping, or also called as pattern clustering. Okay, so here you have learned about three models, that is feed forward, feedback and competitive learning. So here if you see, here you have pattern association, pattern classification, here you have auto association, pattern storage and pattern environment storage, and the third one is the combination. So these are the three models that are present for us for pattern recognition. So if you observe, you can understand that in the first unit we had studied about, first two units we studied about the model of the neural network. Further we proceeded about the different blocks in the neural network, that is the activation block, summing block, then you have the output, you also have the weights, you also have the inputs. Then further we learned the models in the activation unit. The further models we learned in the synaptic we learned in the synaptic domain. We also learned in the activation models, that is in the earlier unit we studied about the activation models. We also studied about the synaptic model, that is the weights model. Synaptic is nothing but your weights, are also called as strengths. So first, in the first unit we studied about the blocks, then we further moved about the different models available in the different blocks, more into depth. And now when you have understood the concept of this neural network models, further we have established our subject and moved on to the pattern recognition. So we are in the state now so that we can understand, or we are understanding how a neural network will work, that is how for the set of inputs and outputs it is taking the data, understanding the points and trying to produce the results for the new upcoming inputs. So this is done by using three models, that is feed forward, feedback, feed forward and feedback. So if you have any doubts, feel free to comment. Thank you.